What is happiness? I mean, it's a question we all ask ourselves, right? But what if the answer isn't something you go out and find, but something you just feel? Today, we're going to dive into that very idea. We're going to follow a story that might just change how you think about your own search for joy.
So yeah, that's the big question, isn't it? Is happiness this far-off destination you have to struggle to reach? You know, like climbing some massive mountain? Or is it something we can feel right here, right now? Well, to figure that out, let's meet a guy who's asking himself that exact same question.
All right, so let's jump into the story. It starts with our main character, Ayush, and he's dealing with a feeling that I think a lot of us know all too well. It's this deep, heavy sense of dissatisfaction. You know, that feeling that something just isn't quite right. So we first meet Ayush as he's just getting home. You can see it in the way he walks. His steps are just heavy. There's this shadow of sadness on his face, like all the color has been drained from his world. He's just going through the motions, totally disconnected from everything and everyone around him.
And at the heart of it all, here's his biggest anxiety. He feels like he's been left behind, like life is just sped on without him, and he's just stuck. So what does he do? He closes the door, crashes on the sofa, flicks on the TV, anything to just try and numb it all out. But even as he starts to drift off to sleep, his mind just won't let go. It keeps circling back to that one big question. Is happiness something you have to chase after, or is it something you can find right inside yourself? And that question, well, it follows him right into his dreams. And this is where things get really interesting, because it's in this dream that Ayush gets his very first clue. Turns out, the answer he's been searching for isn't waiting for him in some far-off future. Nope, it's actually hidden deep in his past, in a moment of simple, pure, uncomplicated joy. So in his dream, suddenly he's a kid again. He can hear the rain pattering on the roof, he's watching his favorite cartoon on TV, and he can smell something amazing cooking in the kitchen. And then his mom comes in with a bowl of hot Maggie. It's just this moment of pure, simple comfort, you know? All the sights and sounds and smells of being home. And this dream is like a light bulb goes off. It reveals this really profound truth. Happiness isn't some grand prize you win at the end of a long race. It's actually found in these small, simple moments that we usually just overlook. The dream is teaching him that happiness is something you feel right now, not something you find way off in the future. And get this, in the dream, his mother actually spells it out for him. She tells him happiness is right here, in these small moments. But you know, we're often so busy chasing after the big stuff that we don't even notice. It's all about learning to see what's already right in front of you.
So it feels like Ayush finally has his answer. He can really feel the truth in what his mom said. In the dream, the rain stops, a cool breeze blows in, he's totally at peace. But just as he's about to drift off to sleep, everything changes. The peaceful dream twists into a nightmare. A flood just rushes into the room. He starts to drown, and then bam, he wakes up. His heart is pounding out of his chest, and he's back in the dark, silent room. That feeling of peace, completely gone. But here's the thing. That jarring wake-up call, that jolt back to reality, it doesn't send him spiraling back down. Actually, it's the opposite. The dream, both the beautiful part and the terrifying part, it acts like a catalyst. It's the push he needs to finally do something different.
He makes a totally spontaneous decision. He looks out his window and sees this mountain nearby, one he's probably seen 1,000 times but never really seen. He just packs a bag with a few essentials and he goes. He's finally trading in that passive sadness for some active searching. And the payoff? It's immediate. As soon as he gets to the top, this cool breeze hits him and it's instant relief, not just physically, but emotionally too. You know, this climb is more than just a climb. It's a symbol. He has literally risen above his old stagnant way of thinking.
So it's up here, on top of this mountain, all alone with his thoughts, that Ayush finally has that big aha moment. He starts to truly get the lesson from his dream. He finds what he's been looking for all along.
He looks up at the sky and he makes a promise to himself. And this isn't just some passing thought. No, this is a deep, fundamental shift in how he sees everything. He decides he's done chasing happiness. He's done running from sadness. From now on, he's just gonna live fully, authentically.
And that right there is the core shift. See, before, his life was all about chasing happiness. It was always this distant goal, something just out of reach, and that just left him feeling anxious and empty.
But the life he's choosing now, it's about living happiness, finding peace and fulfillment right here, in this very moment.
And the story ends with this really beautiful, simple image. He finds some wild potatoes, cooks them over a little fire, and just eats. Now, the meal itself isn't much. It's barely enough to fill a stomach. But his heart is completely full. It's just like the Maggie in his dream. He's found real, true joy in the simplest of things.
So Ayush's story leaves us with a really powerful takeaway, and honestly, a bit of a challenge. Happiness isn't some destination you arrive at. It's a way of seeing the world around you. It's in the taste of your coffee in the morning, the sound of the rain, or just a quiet moment of peace. The only real question left is, what small joy will you notice today?